Hey guys, I'm forgot to get my mic set up right here. Okay, so this is my second lesson with the Pro, part 3, the last part. I'm assuming you know enough about it that all makes sense. And you got the board there. And so we're playing Crazy Stone at 5 Dawn, and he's helping us think through the moves. So here we go. We're the white stones. Okay, pretty regular opening. We usually see B, and I feel that A is okay. So I asked him, because that's questionable, right? And he says, yeah, it's fine. But let's look at the why it's fine. So this would be what we're kind of afraid of. And he says, it's no big deal. And so I asked, in these situations, I sometimes wonder, should we invade at A? It's not a difficult thing to do, and we're taking away L's points. But I found consistently when I try this, the moyo he gets, the thickness he gets from my invasion is worse than the original one. And that's precisely what he said is, yeah, you can do it, but you're in a worse, then you're in an even worse situation. Not that we looked at variations, but we'll just kind of so black just gets a really big wall, and white got some points for sure, but black gets Sente to go do whatever he wants. Yeah, so it's too big. It's perhaps we can even say mistake. So what do we do instead? First, he says, well, you don't need to deal with the reduction, with the moyo. You can just play away. But then you're having to deal with the moyo. And that can become a burden. To some people, they love doing that. So that's not a burden. Oh, I love dealing with moyos. Great. It's not a mistake. But perhaps a more common way would be to stop his moyo. And this is where he said something I hadn't heard before. It says, when your opponent's creating a moyo, force him to take cash. So now black has cash. He didn't have cash before. But he no longer has a moyo either. Oh, I never heard that. When your opponent's trying to make a moyo, force him to take cash. Interesting. And here we can play a corner, which is, full value, although it does leave black some still working with a moyo. And if we do corner, another full value, there's still a chance that black is going to be creating a moyo out of it. It says, so you can take less than a full value move, which is just a tiny sliver less than full value, still a super big move. And now black simply has no way to make the moyo because you're on the fourth line right in the center. So, okay, was there anything else here? No, I think that covers it. Now let me move that out and this up. And so I went here. He went this way. I go in the corner. And here. We have old style. This goes back a number of decades. We don't see that this much anymore, mostly because this black stone on the left is so weak, right? It's knight's move cut. And there's knight's move cut on top too. It's kind of a weak formation, so we don't see that a lot anymore. So instead, he says A or B. And if you've seen my videos, you know that I just love playing A. I've been playing it for a long time. But let's look at B, because we see this a lot. Okay. If black cuts, we'll look at the most basic. White just makes a territorial living kind of shape, and black has nothing but weaknesses. His left side's weak. His single stone there is weak. His three stones are weak. It's just problems. So white's fine with this. And he also had this as an option, which I would not have considered because that's not a shape move. But it turns black's three in a row into particularly bad shape. I mean, it uses up the liberties, right? So I would never think of playing that move, but he thought it was a good, strong, white's alive, white has points, black has problems. Okay. But we went this way. And here, the Joseki is to play away. My preferred Joseki, play away, which I got from him. And we won't go into that. So, where for white? Still, white A gives black too much thickness. We've seen that. But I felt that I got some insight about white B. In my mind, white B is a regular move because one, white's getting the corner. That's nice. And two, we're preparing to just walk in like it's nothing. So it's Sente, basically. And he's saying, no, it's not time for B because, and then he names the principle, which is incredibly obvious, but I'd never thought of it that way. Okay. In the bottom right, there's one stone. So how do I phrase this principle? The first stone into the corner, so there's an empty corner, and you put the first stone down. That's the biggest. Next, one color is going to add to that corner, a little smaller. Then we're going to get a third move in the corner, smaller. So in the bottom right, white can play the second move while B is the fourth move. Now there's 4 stones in that upper right. And his thought is, well, it is therefore smaller. Here you have the second stone in the corner. That's bigger. Why? Because it's the second stone, not the fourth stone. And I never saw it in that priority before. So that was helpful to me. It's kind of a new thing. I'm busy thinking, well, yeah, but I'm getting the corner and threatening invasion. Therefore, it must be big. No, not necessarily. Okay. So we could, do this first. This whole idea is fine. Yeah. But we went with this because I tend to have trouble, especially against bots. They kind of sneak up and make a big moyo on me, and I don't see it coming. So I thought, let me just play this move so I don't have to think about that. And that was his idea. He said, well, it's just now he can't get a moyo. Okay. White, if you don't know the Joseki, white doesn't want to play this because this is now not only very big, but we have to consider if it's Sente or not. And if white turns first, black should be playing this way, and white could just ignore. But since there's a cut there, the stones are valuable, so we'll save them. So that'd be Joseki. So I turn, and he plays here instead of A. So there's a weakness there. In the future, we can play at A, we can play at B, we can do, lots of different things. Okay, black and white fixes, and black plays the big move. Okay, here's another move that surprised me. He says, you wouldn't want to pinch here, like around B. I'm like, why not? The right is big. It attacks. What's the problem? So he's saying that black has thickness, right? Black has all these, he didn't use the word the thickness, he used the word walls. Black has a bunch of walls. And so you want to be careful. The idea being that with thickness, he can start attacking. So if we do a pinch and he counters, then there's a big fight in black's favor. I've got to save my K4, but there's nothing but black stones there in thickness. Therefore, any pinch is bad because we need to get a handle on, we need to get this area strong so we can't use his wall. Okay, that makes sense to me. And A's the move that's, pretty natural, connect on over. Crazy Stone does the corner. And now there's two ways to finish, actually 3 ways to finish the situation. One is Tanuki and just play it lightly, which we don't want to do because there's so many cuts and separations. So we have A or B. So let's take a look. I'm going to remove the C stone. So now the idea is, if we go to the corner, then that means we've left Aji behind. We want to come back and help that Aji, clean it up. So in my mind, I'm thinking, well, we already have an extra stone at K4. So isn't it important to play A so that we don't get inefficient? And he's like, no. That's really a matter of size. So let's take a look here. So if B, and now we Tawari, change the order of the moves. So I'm going to remove K4. So in this situation, white to play, where would white play? Not K4. White has a perfectly stable group here. White might play at A or B or somewhere on the right around C, but not close to that group around D. It's a waste of time. Well, doesn't that mean that we shouldn't play B because then C is inefficient? Basic Tawari. He's going, yes, I know what you mean, and yes, B slow. But black wants to fight. And B says, no, you're not going to fight me. And now another idea here. We went with A, and a little more, but we're going to see it in a moment. Black is, the pro is concerned here. This could really get awkward, is his thought. Partly because there's a difference if A is at B or A. Is B's a stronger, one's based has a base on the third line. Everything about BC is better than AC, which is another reason we don't need to play D, because we kind of need to add another stone. I hope, did you piece that together? Did I get it? So D, let's go look at that again. Okay. So if we play B, C's nice and strong, but a little over-concentrated. If we play A, C's not over-concentrated, but we need an extra move. So he's thinking it's just pretty much all the same. It doesn't matter. So, since you need another move there with B, or then A and another move In either case, you're investing a move here. A, you're going to do that with more points. B, you're going to do it with Sente. So it's whatever you want. His thought is, since black is his whole thing here, to win the game, he has to fight. Stop him from fighting. Okay, hopefully that made sense. Here, says now you want to fix. You could fix, go for efficiency and leave this behind. And that way you're saying, I'm going to live separately. I'm going to have an A life and a B life, and I don't care about the points in the middle. Well, that's really complex. You're going to be facing some difficult decisions. Or you can just fix, which is where B comes in. Actually, the little opening in the hive is where B comes in. Okay, so here you fixed it. See, to me, this is such a difficult move. What the hell am I attacking? No, am I defending? Yeah. It just seems slow to me, but he's going, no, you need something. And this does center where black wants to be. This kind of move tends to make this Sente, so there's the next move coming. If black doesn't do anything, you get a big area on the bottom. So it's fine. It finishes the shape, which is what you want to do. And that's something I've been told by so many pros. Just finish your shape. Okay, so I think we're caught up to here. Now, if black plays A, this is where my Q mind kicked in. Well, in my mind, B says, oh, sorry, just a second. In my mind, B says, I want area 1. Right? That's what it looks like what B's doing is taking area 1. He's like, no, that's not what B's doing. It could, if you choose that, but what it's doing is finishing the shape, so now you have a strong group. You don't care about the area 1 points, you care about the health of the B group, and B makes it healthy. Without B, it's not healthy. So when black plays here, I'm assuming we're going to do some keeping the bottom. Now, since we have 06 in place, that funny slow jump to 06, the idea of kick and jump here, he says, well, usually this is just not a good idea. But in this specific case, you already have 06, so this is strong enough to take the points, and you are getting it, everything's positive here, so it is playable. But the perspective you want is area 1, I don't want area 1 at the moment. What I want is my B group to be strong. These are important differences, how to get your head on straight. And all the lessons I've taken, hundreds and hundreds of lessons over the years with pros, it's all about trying to get my head straight. I've never been interested in what move should I play. It doesn't matter to me. How do I think? How do I find the move? Okay, so black. And he says, A, B, and C all work here. Your job is to form a group over there. It says the normal pattern is to play here because you're using your stones better. So, I mean, you're right. The 2 white stones there are like almost touching. So not that. Here, black comes up and boom, you're alive. So it's basically 3-3, but you're leaving Aji behind. Let's see what else there is here. Boom, 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 boom. Black fixes and white. Now he says, so now all your groups are alive. And this was important in his mind. It's like step 1, stay strong, which in other words, be alive. And we're not talking 2 eyes. We're talking about, of course, I'm alive. You can't. There's no way in the world you could possibly kill me. So I'm alive. So step 1, get your groups alive. Step 2, go do something. It says here, when you come in, it's not going to be a problem because black doesn't have secondary moves. It's not like, oh, I'm going to attack this group and then I'm going to attack that group and then I'll be able to attack him because I had free moves. No, there are no free moves. Everything's fine. So you'll be easy. Okay. Hopefully you got something out of that. I did. And this ends part 3. So I played 3 games against Crazy Stone with him there, which I've been doing with Raven, Chris. You'll see some videos on YouTube about that. And people seem to really like that. We play Crazy Stone together, and he plays the move, and I ask questions about it. Well, why would you play that? I don't understand what you're trying to do. And we talk it through, and people really like that. It's working out. Anyway, hopefully it was good for you, and we'll catch you later. Bye.